Hello beautiful beings, welcome back to my channel. So as I mentioned a few videos back, I'm going to start reading um, Neville's and Law of Assumption books chapter by chapter, and then I'm going to be trying to break up those chapters into more digestible pieces for you guys to understand. So we're going to be starting with Prayer, the Art of Believing by Neville. If you want to read this book ahead of me or as I discuss it, you can find the link to this book on my description box below. You're going to hit the link and it's going to take you to the Amazon application, Amazon store, and you can order the book from there. Or if you want to listen to the audiobook, I'm going to try to link Josiah's audiobook that he created. If it's not somewhere above my head now, I'll probably link it in the description box below as well. And let's begin. So we're going to do chapter 1, and it is called Law of Reversibility. And it says, "Pray for my soul. More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of." And that is by Tennyson. Prayer is an art and requires practice. The first requirement is a controlled imagination. Parade and vain repetitions are foreign to prayer. Its exercise requires tranquility and peace of mind. Use not vain repetitions, for prayer is done in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. The ceremonies that are customarily used in prayer are mere superstitions and have been invented to give prayer an air of solemnity. Those who do practice the art of prayer are often ignorant of the laws that control it. They attribute the results obtained to the ceremonies and mistake the letter for the spirit. The essence of prayer is faith, but faith must be permeated with understanding to be given that active quality which it does not possess when standing alone. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. That's why it's so important that you guys understand how this works. This book is an attempt to reduce the unknown to the known by pointing out conditions on which prayers are answered and without which they cannot be answered. So Neville is going to try to explain here how your manifestations come and how come they do not. It defines the conditions governing prayer in laws that are simply a generalization of our observations. The universal law of reversibility is the foundation on which its claims are based. Mechanical motion caused by speech was known for a long time before anyone dreamed of the possibility of an inverse transformation. That is, the reproduction of speech by mechanical motion. Back then, that would have been the phonograph. For a long time, electricity was produced by friction without ever a thought that friction in turn could be produced by electricity. It goes both ways. Reverse engineer. Whether or not man succeeds in reversing the transformation of a force, he knows, nevertheless, that all transformations of force are reversible. That all transformations, I already read that again. That all transformations of force are reversible. If heat can produce mechanical motion, so mechanical motion can produce heat. If electricity produces magnetism, magnetism too can develop electric currents. If the voice can cause undulatory currents, so can such currents reproduce the voice, and so on. Cause and effect, energy and matter, action and reaction are the same and interconvertible. This law is of the highest importance because it enables you to foresee the inverse transformation once the direct transformation is verified. Meaning, by you understanding how this law works, is how you are able to know that you're going to be able to manifest something. If you knew how you would feel were you to realize your objective, then inversely, you would know what state you could realize were you to awaken in yourself such feeling. Let me repeat that again. If you knew how you would feel were you to realize your objective, then inversely, you would know what state you could realize were you to awaken in yourself such feeling. If you were to know how you would feel once you had the thing that you wanted, then reverse engineering would tell you that you would get the feeling of the thing that you want first, and the thing has to follow. The injunction to pray believing that you already possess what you pray for is based upon a knowledge of the law of inverse transformation. If your realized prayer produces in you a definite feeling or state of consciousness, then inversely, that particular feeling or state of consciousness must produce your realized prayer. Same thing I just said. One of the main reasons why we do self-love, because when we're manifesting a specific person, if you were to think about how you would feel once you were with that person, that you would feel content, that you would feel wanted, that you would feel secure. If you were to become one with those feelings, then it means by the law of reversibility that the thing, the manifestation, has to follow. Because all transformations of force are reversible, you should always assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. I think it's very, very simple. You should awaken within you the feeling that you are and have that which hereafter you desired to be and possess. You should awaken within you the feeling that you are. So if you want to be a wife or a husband, you would awaken the feeling within you that you are the wife or you are the husband, and that you possess what you already want. This is easily done by contemplating the joy that would be yours were your objective an accomplished fact, so that you live and move and have your being in the feeling that your wish is realized. Which is why I always say, just live in the end. Use my Living in the End playlist. Every night before you go to sleep, imagine something from your wish fulfilled. The more that you do it, the more comfortable you become. And once it's fully accepted, it has to show up. There is no ifs and buts. It has to. It has to. feeling of the wish fulfilled, if assumed and sustained, must objectify the state that would have created it. Let me repeat that again. The feeling of the wish fulfilled, if assumed and sustained, must objectify the state that would have created it. If assumed and sustained. What does sustained means? It means you do your living in the end meditation at night, and then during the day, you pretend. You pretend that as you're cooking, your person is helping you wash the dishes. You pretend that when you're watching a movie, your person is sitting next to you watching the movie with you. You pretend that you're having a conversation. You bring that living in the end air around you. That's how you sustain it. This law explains why faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, and why he calleth things that are not seen as though they were, and things that were not seen become seen. Language is a little. But he calleth things that are not seen as though they were. So you're pretending. You're pretending that what you want is already here. And by pretending that they're already here, the thing shows up. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and continue feeling that it is fulfilled until that which you feel objectifies itself. If a physical fact can produce a psychological state can produce a physical fact. It goes both ways. If the effect can be produced by the cause, then inversely the effect can be produced by the cause. Therefore, I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you have received them, and you shall have them. And he actually put here the part of the Bible that's from Mark 11:24. And I'm going to say that a little bit again. What things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you have received them, and you shall have them. And that is the end of chapter 1 on Prayer, the Art of Believing. This book means a lot to me. It is so important, like Neville said, that you understand, pick up understanding, so that you do things consciously, so that you do things like a master manifester. You set your mind onto something that you want, and you know you're gonna get it, because you know how the law of reversibility works. If something in the physical can create a psychological, then the psychological can create physical. This is boom. I feel like you're I hope this chapter, I hope I was able to explain it well for you guys so that you're able to understand some of it. I know there might be some questions on the first sheet, on the first page where he talks about use not vain repetitions. I honestly believe that is because you would be doing it consciously instead of subconsciously. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to think about it too much, because we now know that everything works as long as we believe they work. But this is how Neville teaches it, living in the end. When you go to the end, you don't hurt anyone in the middle. this is the best way to go about things. You go to the end. You imagine the scene. And let me know if you have any questions, any comments. I wish I had a community tab so I could communicate with you guys. But I don't have one yet because I haven't reached a specific amount of subscribers. But when I do, I'll start communicating more through there so that you guys are able to read the book before we get to break it down, so that maybe you guys could read it and let me know your questions, and then like that we could have a little bit more of an interactive back and forth. But as always, I am here to help you. If you need help, if you need me to coach you, my email is in the description box below. I love you guys. Expect miracles, like Joe Vitale says. And until next time, bye.